What's up, y'all? I'm back. Critical Sports Theory Podcast, Week 12, college football. Big shout out to the producer here, Anthony. He's the man with the plan. But I know you guys want to hear about some picks this week. College football. We missed the 12 o'clock games. I'm sorry. It's better that way because Ohio State kicked the shit out of Michigan State, 49-7. They buried them in the first half. I would have told you to pick Michigan State because I just don't like Ohio State. It's a personal thing, kind of. Not really, but so basically, you're trying to get which angle to go from here. But yeah, so we missed those games. Iowa State's down a touchdown to Oklahoma. Clemson, one loss. Wake Forest about to take that second loss. Clemson's up 38-19 on Wake Forest. So the Blue Bloods are doing well today. Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma so far. But Oklahoma, Iowa State's tight down the stretch. 28-21 Sooners. Ohio State kicking off with about 2:50 left. Stay tuned. They got a couple timeouts, so they're still in that game. But we're going to go to the 3:30 games. I'm going to start off in Heinz Field with the Pitt Panthers. A team we've been riding a lot this year. Kenny Pickett, our guy for the Heisman. Does he have another one in him? I think he does today. I think they're playing Virginia, 14-point spread. The Wahoos have a good offense. I do believe Brennan Armstrong is going to play today for the Cavs. Pickett's, Virginia gives up a lot of points. They score a lot of points. Pitt's going to score points. I think the game's going over 66 is the play in this game. If Armstrong stays healthy, they're going to put up points. We know Kenny P is going to have a big day. So we're going to go over 66.5, Virginia and North Carolina. Look for points. Two of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, Brennan Armstrong for the Cavs, Kenny Pickett for Pittsburgh. It's not a windy day in Heinz Field, so it's going to be good for the passing game. It'll create balanced offense, and that's what you'll have. I think you'll have a game that's like 41-35, something like that. Could get over 70, I think, easy in that game. First half, they got to get get at least like 30 points in the first half, and then we should be all right. Next game, SMU at Cincinnati. The undefeated number 5 in the nation, Cincinnati Bearcats, host the Stangs of SMU coming in with Sonny Dykes and a high potent offense led by Oklahoma transfer Taylor Mordecai, who is this SMU quarterback. SMU has two close losses on the road at Houston, who's very underrated right now, the Cougars. So SMU lost to them, and then they lost to Memphis on the road, a game kind of like after the Houston game. They really didn't rebound yet. But I feel like SMU's got its gatherings back. I think it's ready to go to Cincinnati and play well with that offense. Cincinnati, they can score, they can defend, though. So SMU, it's going to be, can they score on Cincinnati? I think they'll score. I think Cincinnati's offense is going to have a good game today. I think they're going to put up some points. I like the over in that game, 65.5. I think there's going to be some points on the board. I think you might even see Cincinnati get a scoop and score or a pick six. I'm an underdog lover, so I want to take SMU. But I'm not. I'm just going to say over in that game. That's going to be another high-scoring game. I think Cincinnati can score 40 against SMU, and if they do, it'll go over because SMU will get their 20-something, maybe 30 in this game. I see it's going to be a tit-for-tat offensive thing, and I like the over in that game too. Another game I like the over, USC-UCLA. Put some overs in early, fellas and ladies out there too. Yeah, I know y'all can make some money on this too. It's not a non-binary thing. Guys, girls, we can all make money on college football. Just the same. Just always contact me. I'll leave my number in the credits.
Show me the fucking money!
But yeah, UCLA, USC over 65.5. I know it's Jackson Dart's first start for USC. For USC. It's been Slovis has been, but Slovis hasn't really had a great year. And the game that Jackson Dart played against Washington State when he came in relief, he looked great. And I love his physical tools. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for them, Jackson Dart. I think he's very talented. Redshirt freshman. I think they're going to put some points on the board. I know they don't have Drake London, but I think USC and UCLA get into a shootout. I think UCLA wins. I think they might cover the 3.5 also, UCLA, but I love the over. I think it's going to be points scored in that game, big. So that's another over game I really like. USC, UCLA, going with that over. But to the next game, let's get some more games in. Minnesota and Indiana. Indiana, since Penix has been hurt, the season that, they were coming in with good expectations. Let's not forget about Indiana this year. They beat Michigan, Michigan State, and Penn State last year, and almost won at Columbus last year with Penix at quarterback. They went to a bowl game. They played Ole Miss. They come into the season. They were expected to be very good. Cincinnati, the win that they're not getting credit for. Sorry, guys, my little hair over here. Cincinnati, the win they're not getting credit for is Indiana when they should. They should be getting better credit for the Indiana win because they played Indiana with Penix early in the season. It's a different team since they lost Penix. They haven't been able to get the passing game going. Their running game is solid, but, and the defense has had some breakdowns behind it. And Minnesota's coming in fighting for that Big Ten West. They're a 7-point favorite at Indiana. I think Indiana's going to play hard, but I think Minnesota's running game is too strong and the defense is too strong. I think Minnesota covers the 7. They win. I think I buy a 0.5 point, make it 6.5. I'm taking the Gophers in a must-win to stay in the Big Ten West race. They beat Indiana, going away 31-17 final for the Gophers. In that one, I'm predicting. So I'm taking Minnesota -7 by the 0.5 point. Next game, East Carolina and Navy. East Carolina's had a good season under the radar. 6-4 in the American. They have some good wins. They went to South Carolina, an SEC team, only lost by 3 points on the road. They've got wins. They beat Memphis. I can't remember exactly who else. They played Houston tough. They lost in overtime to Houston. They've been in games. They've snuck out some nice wins this year. 6-4. The quarterback, Holton Ahlers, can throw the football a little bit. He's an accurate little quarterback. They got a good running back. Freshman Peaton, I believe his name is, a breakaway back. I like East Carolina against Navy. Now, Navy hasn't been as good as they've been in years past. They've come back down a little bit. But I think today they're going to play well, but I just think East Carolina is too much. I think East Carolina wins by a touchdown. So I'm laying the 3.5 at Navy in Annapolis with the East Carolina Pirates looking for their 7th win. And then they play Cincinnati next week. So you want the East Carolina to be on a little bit of a roll playing Cincinnati next week, make that game a little better, a little bigger than what people may look at it as. So I'm going with ECU -3.5. Next game on the docket is a big one in Tuscaloosa. We got the Hogs from Arkansas going to Alabama as 20-point dogs. Alabama, as we know, high-powered offense. Bryce Young, Heisman contender. The receivers, Jameson Williams, John Mechie. But, I noticed one thing about Alabama compared to years past. They don't run the ball as well as they have. I think Arkansas can stop their run game, can slow it down considerably today. And it's going to be a lot on Alabama quarterback to make a lot of throws and make plays. I think he'll make some. But he also might turn the ball over once or twice or not make as many plays. There won't be as much play action opportunity in this game, which I think keeps Arkansas in the game. I think Arkansas can play ball control against Alabama's defense. The quarterback Jefferson can run in and throw it. They've got a couple of different backs they're going to use that can run the football. They've got a good offensive line. Still that Brett Bielema, Houston Nutt type of Arkansas, big hog, a big offensive line. They got a good receiver in Treylon Burks, who's an NFL player. I'm like Arkansas in the 20 points. One of my best bets of the day, I'm taking the Hogs in the 20 on the road in Tuscaloosa. They may not win, but it'll be a game. The Hogs come to play. They got some hard hitters on defense in the middle of that defense, too. It's going to be interesting. I like the Hogs plus 20. I even put a little on the plus 800 money line. I'm not telling you to, but I did. I could possibly see a crazy upset today, but I think the Hogs are in that game the whole way. LSU was in the game against them to the one-score game. Tennessee was in the game to the fourth quarter. I could see the Ole Miss blew some opportunities, but I like the Hogs today. I think they play more ball control. I think they're physical, close to what Alabama is. More so than Ole Miss or Mississippi State, where the Arkansas is a very physical team, and I think that that helps you against the Bama. That helps you stay in that game. Very physical. And they got some skill guys. So I like Arkansas plus 20 against Bama. Sorry, I just had somebody contact me. Moving forward, though, let's go to this Syracuse-NC State game. Syracuse on the road. They've been a better team since Garrett Schrader's taken over at quarterback. They're getting 11 at NC State. I'm taking the points. NC State's not explosive. They're very good. They're very good defensively. Their quarterback, Devin Leary, is underrated. He's a very consistent thrower of the football. He'll make some throws. Person's a good back. But they're not explosive, and I don't see them getting a big lead against Syracuse, especially last week after losing the NC State the Wake Forest game. Might be a little downer for NC State. I think Syracuse plus 11 is a nice play. I would even throw a little money line on a plus 350, but I'm taking Syracuse in the points at NC State plus 11. Now we're going to a game that's underrated that people aren't going to talk about. Louisiana Lafayette 9-1 out of the Sun Belt, ranked, going to Liberty. You freezed in that big offense in Liberty. You know, Liberty's been on the map the last couple of years. You can't act like you don't know who Liberty is. They're a good team. Malik Willis, their quarterback's going to be one of the quarterbacks drafted in the NFL draft in the first 3 rounds this year. So you're going to hear about Liberty. That's a good game. It's Liberty 4 points against Louisiana Lafayette. And we've been taking Liberty on the podcast because, you know, we love liberty and freedom and just, you know, the name Liberty. I like Lafayette in the points today, though. I think it's going to be a good game, really good game. I'm taking the 4 with Lafayette. I think Lafayette's going to pull out the win at Liberty. I think there's a very good team. That Louisiana Lafayette team flying under the radar. They can play ball. Their only losses to the Texas Longhorns on opening day on the road. So I'm taking Lafayette in the 4 against Liberty. Moving along here, Cal and Stanford in the game out in the West Coast. 2 3-win teams this year, a little nondescript. But Cal's been better overall, more consistent. I like their quarterback, Chase Garbers. I think they play tougher games. They have tougher losses. Stanford's been, you know, in some tough games too. That's a rivalry, good rivalry. But I think Cal goes to Stanford and gets the win at Stanford. They're a 2-point favorite. I think they pull it out and they win by a field goal or a touchdown. I'm going with the Bears in that one. Here we got Auburn at South Carolina. The Gamecocks have been playing better recently, and Auburn's been up and down. I don't even know if Bo Nix is going to play. Gamecocks are going to be fired up at home, fired up like they were for the Florida game. Place was a zoo. They bashed Florida. I think Auburn suffers the same consequence tonight. I don't know if they're going to blow Auburn out, but I like South Carolina plus 7. I'll take the money line plus, what do we got here? Plus 260. I'm going with the Gamecocks over Auburn. I like the points and the money line dog on that one. Good defense at home. South Carolina, they're playing tough defense. Zeb Nolan, the quarterback, can make some throws. He can make some plays. He's been playing better. I'm going with the Gamecocks at home. Another one, Virginia Tech at Miami. Both teams 5-5. Both teams fighting for bowl eligibility and placement in the ACC. Tech has played a little better the last 2 weeks. Braxton Burmeister looks like he's playing better. The freshman quarterback Van Dyke for Miami's played well. I like Virginia Tech, though, in the 7 points on the road. I think they're going to be a little focused, more focused maybe than Miami. I think Miami plays close games. This is destined to be a close game. And I'm taking the 7 points in a close game. Why wouldn't I? Buy a half a point, take Virginia Tech plus 7.5. And moving along, Oregon at Utah. I've been keen on this game for 3 weeks. The Ducks in the top 4 for the playoffs, going to Utah. This is a tough game and a tough place to play. It's so tough that, in fact, Utah's a 3-point favorite at home. I'm going with Utah. I like Utah's been playing really well lately. The only loss in the last 6 games was to Oregon State, and that's a tough team on the road. They're at home. They're just tough at home. Oregon's had some good road wins, though. They won at UCLA. They won at Ohio State. You can't take that from them. They beat Washington State last week, a good team. I just like Utah close at home. I'm going to buy a half a point, take Utah minus 2.5. I think they win by a field goal of 4 points. I'm going with the Utes, but that's not a big game to bet on. I mean, I don't love them like that. I kind of like the under in that game. I like the under 58.5 also even more than the game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both defenses will be alive. Neither team's going to want to turn the ball over. It'll make it a close to the best type of game. I like the under 58.5. We got one more game I like tonight. Arizona State at Oregon State. I've been running with Oregon State this year. Hit or miss. Won some, lost some. They've been playing good football. I expect that to continue tonight. I think they get the big home win against Arizona State. Jaden Daniels has been up and down for Arizona State. They've looked good, then they haven't looked so good. They had laid that egg at home against Washington State. Then they had that second half laying egg against Utah on the road. I think another tough place to play, Corvallis, Oregon State. I think Oregon State 3-point underdog. I think they pull it out tonight. I think they win outright. Take the 3 points, take the money line, which is plus 130. And I'm going with Oregon State to finish up this week's college football from 3:30 on. That's it. Those are the picks. We'll be back tomorrow morning with some NFL stuff. We'll have our NFL rundown. We'll have our picks. We'll even give you some fantasy pointers out there for tomorrow. But, yeah, that's who I'm liking today in college football. We're going with Oregon State plus 3 against Arizona State. We're going with Utah and Oregon under 58.5. We're going with Virginia Tech plus 7 against Miami. You could do that money line at plus 230. Also, we got South Carolina plus 7 against Auburn at home, and we love the money line plus 260 in that game as well. We got Cal minus 2.5 at Stanford to win. We've got UCLA and USC over 65.5. We got Louisiana Lafayette plus 4.5 against Liberty. The line just changed, actually. Plus 155 I like there also. I like Syracuse plus 11 against NC State as a dog. Take the points. And then we have also Arkansas as a dog plus 20.5. And you know what? I'm put me on record as this too. Like I said, a little something on that plus 870, man. That's a nice line, that plus 870 against Alabama. Arkansas got some players over there. They're 7-3 in the SEC. They're not no chump pushover team. And if Alabama struggles to run the ball against Arkansas, that game is going to be close. And you're going to love that 870. You're going to be like, wow, that 870 feels good right now. East Carolina minus 3.5 at Navy. I think they're going to get their 7th win. They've been a good balanced team. They can run it. They can throw it. They'll score points on Navy. I like over 46 in that game, too. That's another. I didn't even mention that. Over 46. East Carolina in the over. Is the play. Minnesota minus 7 against Indiana on the road. They win. The defense just shuts it down. They'll run the ball. They'll cover. By the half a point, make 6.5. That always helps. And then the last two, like I said, the overs in the Virginia-Pittsburgh game, over 68. Now, wow, the line's going up. People are betting that. It went from 66.5 to 68 in about an hour. So over Virginia-Pitt and over SMU-Cincinnati. Enjoy. Oh, that's how you end it? You just cover it?